Welcome to Chalk Talk, Danville Public Schools Weekly News Magazine. This week we've got a real treat for you. We're at George Washington High School, and you can see behind me we've got the George Washington, and now correct me, Marching Eagle Band. And we're here to talk about what the band does for the school and what they do all year, but there's something really special going on too. And I have got the perfect person with me to talk about all of this, Reggie Purvis. Reggie.
Hello, how are you?
And what kind of year are you having?
It's going absolutely fantastic. I cannot complain so far.
This is your marching band. This is your pep band.
Yes.
And there's another. Oh, this is a competition that we're looking at here today.
The band that you see on the field behind us is working on the competition show that we will be performing at halftime, doing football games, at competitions throughout Virginia, and the trips and things like that we go to.
Now, let's talk a little bit about something special that's coming up, though, a trip to New York. When is that going to be?
Yeah. The New York trip is November the 9th. We are competing in the U.S. Bands Circuit. It's a national circuit that involves bands from all over the East Coast and Texas, as far south as that.
Now, have we ever done this before?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. We've done this circuit many times before. We've been to the national championships back in 2012, and so this is our second visit to it this year, and it's going to be performed at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. But we're calling it a New York trip because we're going to spend some time in New York and enjoy the amenities of being in the city.
Now, we're going to see the competition work today. Now, the things that they compete with they'll be the same things that they would do for halftime and things of that nature. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. I mean, we entertain the crowds at football games by doing our halftime show, which is the competition show during halftime. That's sort of like a practice run for when we go to competitions and local events and things like that, too.
Now, when you're in competition in New York, do you do one show, or do you do several different things? What makes up the competition?
Yeah. We have one opportunity to perform our competition show for the judges. We're divided into different classes based on the school size. I think there's going to be 14 of us in our class, and we get 14 schools in our division that's going to be competing for top honors, and we're just lucky and glad to be participating. It's one of those things where it's an honor to make it that far.
Now, do we have to do some fundraising to get everyone there?
Of course. This trip is costing the band about $75,000, and we are selling just about everything. We're taking donations from the members of the community. Our Dixie Classic band competition, which is our competition that we host here at GW on September 23rd, is our largest fundraising project that we do, and we're inviting the community to come out. It's like a big carnival where we have bands from Virginia, North Carolina, come to our stadium to compete for prizes and do their competition show and just have a great time with us on that day. And that's how we raise a lot of our money, by having folks come here and eat at the concessions, buying tickets, programs, souvenirs, things like that.
And this is done here at the stadium?
Here at GW in the football stadium on September 23rd. The event is going to start around 1:30 in the afternoon.
Is that a Saturday?
Yes, it's a Saturday, and as of right now, we have 18 bands plus us in competition, and that's a really, really big group for us this year. So
that's just a fun evening.
Oh, God, yeah, because you're going to see and hear a lot of different styles of bands playing contemporary music, jazz music, pop music, all kinds. So it's a little bit of something for everyone if you come out and visit with us on that day.
Now, do you have a gate price on that?
Yes, the tickets are $6 per person. Again, it's a fundraising project for us, so we do depend on the gate and concessions where we make our most money. So we want to encourage people to come out and spend the day with us on that.
Now, if somebody is out in the community and they're watching us and they were ex-band members or whatever, and they would like to, let's say, contribute some money to get these kids to New York, how would they get in touch with you? Call GW?
They can call GW, or they can send something to me by way of email. My email is rpurvis@mail.dps.k12.va.us. That long
that long title.
Gmail.
We'll get that across the screen.
Or even just come by the school. You can come by the school and drop off a donation or something in the main office, put my name on it, and I'll take it straight to the band program.
You also have band boosters, don't you?
Yes, we do. The GW Band Parent Organization, organizes the Dixie Classic itself, but they also do all the chaperoning and help make sure the kids have everything that they need in order to participate in the football games, to do the competitions, cleaning of uniforms, all the different things that we need. So it's a big group of parents that support the kids in what they're doing outside.
I think that when I go to some of the parades here and see some of the things, when I see that GW band marching down the street, I mean, you look at the kids out here today in their shorts and all around. When they get in those uniforms and they start marching down the street, it is so impressive, so impressive.
I agree. When you dress them up, they actually do a really, really good job. Not to say that they're not doing a good job out here right now.
They're doing a great job, but
it's
it's the way that they look and the way that they represent the school. I mean, it just kind of takes your breath away. You go, oh, here comes the band.
Yeah, well, I'm all about discipline. I'm all about making sure the kids look well, they look good, they perform well, and they represent themselves in a positive way that's going to be a reflection of what we want people to know about our city and our community, and especially our school.
Now, what I'd like to do is I would like to get back there with where all the action is going on and get around to some of the groupings here of the instruments and things that they're playing. But before we get out there, I asked you a question earlier, and this is coming from an old majorette. Why do we not have majorettes anymore? We've got the flag corps, right?
The color guard. We have the flag corps, which includes the rifles and the dancers and things like that. Majorettes was sort of fizzled out back in the end part of my high school career, which was the early 80s. I think I'm going to resent this. So I'm sorry. But again, it's one of those things where, from a visual standpoint, you want to have more young ladies and or gentlemen with bigger pieces of equipment so that you can tell stories more and you can see more of what is happening visually. With one majorette, you see when it goes up in the air. That's about it. You might see her or him if they're focused on in one particular part of the field. But with the flags and the rifles and everything, and if you have a large group, which I do, I have about 30 out there this year, you see it from every aspect of what's going on.
Especially the flags.
Oh, definitely.
Now, do we have I think you call her the drum major?
Yes. Chris Glass is our drum major. This is his second year. He's on the box right now leading the band through the rehearsals and everything. He starts them, he stops them, he cues them. He makes sure that they stay together while we're actually working on the field.
Now, tell me, besides drums, and I think what are those, xylophones?
Yes.
All right. What are some of the instruments that we have? What are the other instruments that are included in the band?
Yeah, you have your typical wind instruments: flutes, clarinets, saxophones, trumpets, trombones, mellophones, baritones, tubas, everything that you can possibly think of, with the exception of strings, which are orchestral instruments. But nowadays, band has changed so much that we actually have used strings outside too. And one of the things that's unique about our show this year that people are going to find very interesting is that we actually have a vocalist that actually sings the last part of the show that we're doing. That's a going trend that's happening right now.
What you're practicing today, you've got someone
that's going to... There's a young lady that will be singing the very, very end of the show.
That's kind of hard because it was even hard for us to record over there. It was so loud. So they must have a great voice.
Yeah, she really does. She's in the concert choir here at GW, but she's also mic'd. We use a lot of electronics on the field nowadays also.
I was gonna say, your whole career, and you've had a long career here at GW. Have you seen a big change in the use of technology?
Oh, yes. Definitely. Right now, she's singing now, as a matter of fact, the young lady. We're at that part of the show. But from a technology standpoint, yes, it used to be just you could put a horn in folks' hands and the drums and everything and just play and you're going about your business. Now it's all about sound effects, spoken word, different things that you might not necessarily be able to have because it's not the wind instruments. And so nowadays, it's anything you can use. Because with technology, as we know, you can just do about anything out there.
It makes a huge difference in the sound,
Yes,
too.
it does. And there are some bands that even mic every instrument that's out there on the field to make them go from sounding like they have 25 kids to 200 kids.
That's impressive.
It is impressive. I'm not into the electronics, but I do what we have to keep up with everybody else.
Let's get over here and see what some of them are and then talk about some of these instruments and give the audience a look at that.
Not a problem.
What's your name?
I'm Jordan.
You're Jordan?
Yes, ma'am.
And okay, it's a crazy question. What kind of drum is this, Jordan?
This is a snare drum. This is snare drum. Those are tenors. And over there, those are bass drums.
All right, now what did you call those?
Tenors.
Tenors?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You got a bunch of drums there. Now this is a tenor drum. Is it tenor because it's higher or lower? Does it make any difference?
It's kind of between. They go from high to low. So this will be high, lower, 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 and lower.
Very talented. What's your name?
Ramon.
Ramon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, what grade you in?
10th.
10th grade? All right. And here's Mr. Smiley. What's your name?
Timothy.
Timothy? What kind of, is that snare?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's your drum?
It's bass drums over there.
Okay.
It's one of the big drums.
So you, one of the bass drums?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's one of the big ones that goes really
Dum,
boom,
dum,
boom.
Yes.
Bass drum?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
Jasmine Washington.
Jasmine? Name?
Shamor Adams.
TJ Holmes.
Another smiler. Okay.
Okay, hey, everybody, my name is Corey Hall. I'm the captain of this drum line. I'm a senior this year, and it's been a good year.
What happens next year when after you graduate?
I'm going to A&T University. I'm going to try for their drum line.
Okay, oh, their drum line, okay.
My name is Michael Watkins.
Snare.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we got you. Okay, now the thing I want to hear the most, and we want everybody in the community to hear, is what this drum line sounds like. You ready for this?
Yep.
Wonderful. Tell me something. Where does the name Drumline come from?
Because as you can see, we all drums, and like when we move together, we like stay as a line, so that's why it's called drum line.
Yeah. Now, when you're marching, you're all in a line too.
We do snares in the front. Get set up in the formation. How we set up? We do snares, 'cause we're the highest drum, and then we go mid, which is the tenors, and then we do basses in the back. And we're missing 2 basses too. Usually we have 5 basses.
You do know that you're the most popular part
Yeah.
of any marching band.
Yeah.
You do know that.
Yeah, the drum line.
Now, you said that you're president of the drum line.
Captain, yes.
Captain of the drum line. What does that mean you have to do?
Well, first of all, I got to know every part, and I got to be responsible for like making sure everybody learn the music and just things like that.
Well, I noticed also that you kind of started them off and told them when to do all the things. You know something? You guys are fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You make us proud.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you. Yeah, nice meeting you too.
Hello, my name is J.D. Edmonds, and this is my wife.
Janine Edmonds.
I am the Bonner Booster President, and I'm encouraging all you parents to get involved with your child's education, get involved with the community, and show your support for your kids' school.
Continue to be that bridge between the community, school, and family.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexandra Reddy and I'm the Beta Club president here at Galileo Magnet High School. Let me tell you about Beta Club. Beta Club is a national academic club that focuses on community service. And in fact, our motto is let us lead by serving others. So every month, the Beta Club here at Galileo completes a service project for our community and also for our school. And then in February, we travel to the state convention where we compete with other schools in the areas of English, science, social studies, talent competitions, and it's a really awesome experience. But I also have the honor of being the Virginia State Beta Club president, an election that I won back in February at the convention. So this means that I have to travel to at least 2 other state conventions this year. There's North Carolina, South Carolina, all across the country that I am able to travel to. So I'm very blessed to be the state president, and I'm excited for what the year holds and making Galileo proud and making Virginia Beta proud.
Just spent time with your drum line, and they showed me the bass drums, snare drums, and tenor drums.
Yes.
And I thought that was all the drums we had, but I see more drums up here.
Well, it's all percussion. It's all percussion. And what you're looking at up front, this is the front ensemble. The front ensemble consists of all of the mallet keyboards, the bells, the xylophones, the vibraphones, marimbas, but it also contains the electronic keyboards, the soundboard, and things like that we use to have this, the pianos and the effects, but also the larger drums that we can't actually strap on and move around the field with, such as the bass drums, the gongs, the rack with the big cymbals and things like that. All of these are colorful things that stand on the sidelines, and the kids actually play them too.
But now you told me they do not march.
No, they do not march around on the field. They perform on the sideline. That's why we call them the front ensemble.
So when you're let's say we're at a football game and you're out here and with the kids doing their thing, these are on the sideline?
They're on the sideline. Now these kids actually, you might ask yourself, well, what do they do when it comes to parade time?
Yes.
They play cymbals. They play the crash cymbals, the smaller cymbals. A lot of them are horn players. Like the two keyboard players, one is an oboist, one is a clarinetist. They'll pick up their instruments and they'll actually play in the parade the instruments that they play sitting down inside. So they do multitask.
Now, let me ask you one more thing. All of these instruments,
yes,
and the instruments they're playing, do the students have to buy these?
Majority of the instruments are owned by the Danville Public Schools. I mean, a lot of the wind kids have their own, like the flutes and the clarinets and the saxophones, trumpets. But like the larger things, like the tubas and all of the drums, all the equipment on the sideline, they're owned by the Danville Public Schools.
Now, let me ask you a question. I see these kids playing, walking backwards and playing and doing all this, and you're talking to someone who can't chew gum and walk hardly. When they come to you, do they not know how to play the instrument, whatever they're playing?
The majority of them know how to play the instrument because they've been in middle school band for 3 years.
Okay.
All right? When they come over to me, they modify what they've been doing and expand on what they're doing in order to move and play at the same time. Now, we actually do use about 15 8th graders who are at the middle schools right now who've only been playing for 2 years. And they wanted to participate in the high school program. And so for them, it was learning the basics all over again to pull them up to speed with the kids who already marched in the high school program. So again, we're enhancing the middle school programs by teaching a lot of their kids how to be aggressive musicians by being in the high school program already.
Well, also when I talk to chorus and I talk to orchestra, I find that most of the kids that are in there came up through the middle school programs that we have that feed right into GW.
Yes, you're exactly right. Now, there are a few kids here and there that come to me at the beginning of the year and say, I've never played or I've never done it. I want to be in the band. And if we can work them in some way or start them out with private lessons during the summertime where they pick it up and they run with it on their own, I take them. I'm always looking for kids who want discipline, kids who have positive attitudes, who have parents, family members who will support them in the endeavors that they're making an attempt to do, which is to represent, again, our school and community in positive ways.
This is a class that they take during their school day, but a lot of their work is done after school.
Yes. The majority of these kids are involved in class band, but you also have a lot of the kids like the color guard. They're not in class. They just practice after school during the summer. Some of the middle school kids, they're over at the other campuses. They come over in the afternoon. They practice with us. There are some kids, because of the scheduling that we're dealing with right now, the block schedule, that they can't work it into their schedule where they can be in class. So they play outside so that they at least continue to keep their musicality going.
It's a real commitment on their part, though.
Definitely.
Now, you are the color guard
instructor. Yes.
Right. Tell me the purpose of the color guard as far as the band is concerned.
Okay. We are the visual aspect. So when it comes to telling a story, we give you the element of telling the story. So we have the flags, we have the rifles. This year we have mirrors. We do the dance component. We give you everything visual for the show.
Okay, so it's kind of like the entertainment part of the entertainment. Now, they're part of the marching band. They're part of the competition. Will they be part of going to New York to compete?
Yes, they will. They will. It'll be full group, so when you see part of them, you see them all, so they're all one whole unit.
Okay. Now, most of these How do they learn to twirl a flag? Come on.
We have tryouts that start in April, and we start with just basic spins, and we do just one simple toss during tryouts, and then.
Now, when you say tryouts, if I want to be part of the color guard, I have to try out for that.
You have to audition. It takes about 2 weeks. No experience is necessary to come out and try out. We teach them everything from basic jazz dance technique to how to spin basic spins and how to toss.
Now,
So,
how many girls come out?
this year we had almost 80 audition.
And how many do you end up with?
I have 30.
30. So out of 80, you pick 30. Now, major question: do you have any guys that are color guard?
I do. I have one that's on the field right now. He is somewhere midfield, but I do have a male this year, and it's not uncommon. So.
Okay. All right. Now, they march in front of the band or behind the band? They kind of lead it off, don't they?
Just depends. If we're going on competition, typically we will start by going on first, just because they have about 4 pieces of equipment apiece that they have to set. So they'll typically go on first just to get their equipment set up and be ready when the drum major counts off.
I just watched them toss them up in the air and catch them. And you know, it looks simple, but the wind and that flag does change
is
things.
always a big issue. And so they have to, in addition to learning how to toss, they have to also learn how to anticipate the wind. Whichever way the wind blows, they have to know to do opposite, push forward, pull back, because they are still expected to catch no matter what way the wind blows.
Tough. You're tough on them.
They
You're
work
tough.
hard. Tough love.
As we close the show, I want to first let you reiterate ways that we can help you get to New York. And one of those ways is we can attend the Dixie Classic, is that what you call it? On September the 23rd. A gate fee of $6 per person.
That is correct.
And that is your main fundraiser for the student. We need about what, $75,000?
$75,000. Outside of just general donations to the band program, you know, we're hoping to have a big crowd of folks on the 23rd to celebrate all the bands coming through and competing and helping us to raise money to get to New York in November.
And if you can't make it on the 23rd and you still want to, you can get in touch here at GW and let them know that you want to give some money to the band.
That is correct. Anything we will accept.
I want to say it is absolutely fascinating to watch these students. It's amazing. I watch them walking backwards, playing an instrument. I watch them count. The dedication that it takes is amazing. I mean, it is amazing.
It takes a really, really strong kid with dedication, pride, and discipline in order to do the things that we do. And I try to instill in all of them just to be the very, very best that you possibly can. Have fun, first and foremost, but know that it is a lot of hard work and commitment in order to do and to be the type of band that we want to be.
But without you, it might not be that band.
Well,
you know you're good. You know you're good.
I just work hard. I love what I do. I've seen so many kids come through the program in the 33 years that I've been in Danville Public Schools. It's been a blessing, 100%, and I just love doing what I do and seeing how they can all come together to make something wonderful happen.
And they pick up on that too. They respond. They respond to you being so enthusiastic about what you're doing.
Well, I have to be. So thank you, Diane, for coming up and doing this with us.
Hey, listen, I am not half as dedicated to these kids. We had to come.
Thank you.
Want to thank all of you for being with us this week, and you have got to be impressed when you see students working like they are. This is between, I guess we're going on about 7 o'clock in the evening now, and they're out here working like this, and they're doing a great job. Thanks for being with us this week. Do not forget about September the 23rd here at the stadium, the Dixie Classic. It's the main fundraiser, so we can send these kids off to New York so they can compete there. Thanks for being with us, and be sure to come back next week.